Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Great Lakes Gaming Podcast, a podcast coming to you deep from within the heart of Michigan, Michigan's best kept secret, a podcast about video games. Allegedly, my name is Dan Allen, and I'm your moderator today on Sunday, May 20th, 2018. I am joined today by Trey Grunstadt.
Hey, howdy.
Nicholas Cartier.
I just caught in a Crosmo.
And Kyle Melville.
I like to race cars and go fast.
He made sure to cough on his own name.
I didn't even know
so
I
true.
coughed. Isn't that funny? Did I really?
I looked at you, and then you didn't say anything about it.
How funny is that?
That's
I
so
didn't
funny.
even know that I coughed. It was just like a...
Cartier was finishing his name, it was getting to you, I don't know.
I think I was clearing my throat so I could talk clearly.
You did a good job.
Don't record it when I have to say something.
I'm sorry.
Trey's like, gotcha.
Got so many juicy rumors and speculation to get through today.
You're a juicy rumor.
Kyle, it's so
You're
true.
speculating.
So true, Kyle. Before we do any of that, we gotta get through the top-rated segment in the UK, which is Swamp Thing and his thoughts. Do you hear that? That's Dr. Arcane. He's invited you here for an evil purpose, Dana. This has been Swamp Thing and his thoughts. Now let's smoothly and quickly sail through some corrections.
Hey, I hear they're making a Swamp Thing live-action movie.
I actually heard that on last week's podcast when we talked about it.
They're making a TV series.
Oh, did you say did you say movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I take that really sassy comment back.
It's okay. You can say it again because I made it up.
Oh, okay.
No, he can just fix it next week in corrections.
Swamp Thing is not making a live-action movie.
The live-action TV series is coming though. DC's streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Sam Fisher popped up in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Not The Division, Kyle. And corrections. Almost perfect episode. Fucking Sam Fisher, Cartier. It's not the first time Sam Fisher has cost me.
He's too much. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Bum. Secret thought of Santa Claus?
This week in the Sweet Weeks, we're doing a little segment, brand new segment called This Week in Gaming. Kyle, this is an old segment. What'd you play this week in gaming?
Play a little Need for Speed.
A little?
Yeah, just a little bit because they have some new autocross courses or whatever, like Speed Cross.
Ooh.
And
Supercross.
and then I played some GTA Online and some Far Cry. I'm actually getting back into video gaming because I'm out of school.
I got time.
But yeah, let me tell you how I just can't stop playing GTA Online, which is funny.
Dude.
But like, I'm never really doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part. That's how I feel when I play Zelda.
Never really do anything, and every time I play, I'm like, I'm gonna make some money this time. End up spending like $500
And $20 of real life
$20
money.
of real life money
Every time, man. I can't help it.
Still can't buy the car.
I cannot.
Shark cards. Ugh. Yeah, GTA. I mean, as soon as you had time to play video games and you bought GTA 5. Well, first off, it was a mistake. Second off, I was like, I wonder if he's going to play the story. Oh, no. No one's playing.
No, I am playing the story.
Cool, cool.
The online store?
I'm playing online, but I'm actually playing the story as well too.
Okay.
Story, I actually enjoyed playing the first time, so I'm playing again.
Yeah.
So,
Are you liking the online, though?
I like it. They added a lot.
Can you,
a lot of new shit.
I remember, like, 2 years ago, when online first came out, you were telling me that they were going to introduce, like, heists or whatever.
Yeah, they have heists now. Thing is, you gotta, like, buy a facility. Facilities are, like, $2 million. A little bit less than $2 million. And then out of that facility, you can, like, start doing your heists.
that underground bunker. I saw you go into that bunker. I had never seen
I own
that.
a bunker.
Like, I have a couple bumpers.
But I stopped playing GTA Online like 2 years ago. It was like, yeah, Cartier. It was like I don't want to bury this game. It's made so much money. Like 4 years ago, when they're like, heists are coming. And then it was like a long period of time. I remember as I stopped playing, it was probably like 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 maybe. And they're like, heists are right around the corner. It might have been like this weekend. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
oh.
See, like I said 2 years, but now I'm actually thinking about it as like 2013. So
Yeah,
it's like almost like 5 years
It's
ago.
been a long time.
Yeah, that was like when me and Kyle were living with each other.
Mm-hmm. Far Cry 5 though, Kyle. How's that?
Far Cry 5 is good. I'm actually not playing it as fast as a lot of people I know. Like, some people I know just played through it in a week.
A lot of fish in the sea.
I'm one of those people that kind of just like to chill and coast with games that I know I'm going to keep and not sell. You know, so I'm about 1/3 of the game finished.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a habit of going into that game and just end up doing nothing as well. I mean, open world games are my demise, dude.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I didn't want to put this in corrections, Kyle, but there's a point last week where Trey was like, Elder Scrolls Online or Elder Scrolls VR maybe kind of a money grab, and you were agreeing with him, and you said the sentence. I just didn't want to pick on you, and I was like, this doesn't fucking matter. But you said the sentence, it's like, yeah, Skyrim VR, and Skyrim VR just isn't enough to make me buy Skyrim again. I'm like, yes, it was, motherfucker. Like,
well, no, it came with the pack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't buy it.
That's why
it
we didn't do
came
corrections.
with the VR.
That's why he kept the VR and then took the game back.
Look, so there's
That's true. That's very
there's
true.
a first and second model of the VR. The second model only had specific packs that you could get with it, and the Skyrim one was the only one available at the time.
Whatever you say, Kyle.
So, I wasn't sure if the Doom one at the time was version 2. With the version 1 VR, you can't watch it on the screen as people play it.
Right.
So I wouldn't have thought that was really fun.
Well,
VR is really like, I don't play it by myself. There are a lot of games that I would still like to play by myself, but there's a lot of games that aren't virtual reality that I haven't played yet. So, like, I'm catching up. I'll get back into the VR for sure. Like, the other night I was going to play the VR racing game, but then I was like, I ended up turning on Far Cry.
So, do you... Not VR related question, but do you prefer playing your PS4 in your living room or in your bedroom while it's still plugged?
Yeah, I did the PS4 share onto my iMac, and it was the only reason the graphics weren't as great as I think is because of the streaming quality, and but it was fun. It was fun. It was just a nice new experience that I could just turn on my PlayStation from my room, and then it just pops up on my computer screen, and I can still like switch through my computer screens and have one of them be my PlayStation. That was just really cool.
Yeah, I haven't really messed with the remote play at all.
Yeah, the remote play is actually really cool. So if you ever want to, maybe get it for your tablet, see if they have it for that. That'd be cool.
Crazy.
Think of it, Dan. You're playing the new Kingdom Hearts game when it comes out, and you really gotta take a shit. So you take your tablet in there, you slap it on the washer and dryer, and you're pretty much living that Switch life where you can pick your game up.
Good.
Yeah, you gotta plug your controller into the actual device that you're remote playing. But it's cool.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Nardog.
It was a new experience.
Nardwar.
I think I was just more hyped that I was just like not in my normal setting that I play my PlayStation in. Even though like the gameplay wasn't as great as it could have been like 2 feet away in the living room.
True.
But that works for like when you have guests over like I did, which is the reason why I figured it out and did it. And
That's your times.
They could turn on the TV and watch Netflix while I'm playing PlayStation.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because it was cool because I was playing it and they're like, can we like change the channel? Because all we're doing is watching you like punch bitches in the back of the head. Because like I just run down the streets and punch people in the back of the head.
Satisfying.
And I went out there and figured it out, and you can change the channel. I was afraid that I thought it was like a screen recording thing, but no, it's actually just a share. So
That's cool.
you can change the channel.
What a full week in gaming for Kyle Melville.
No, not yet.
Bursting
Doing
at the
a lot of
seams.
gaming today. Still, this week ain't done yet.
Vacation.
Trey, vacation boy.
Hard-
Grunstadt.
AKA hard motherfucker.
A.K.A. Crawdad
Yeah.
my pa. Crawdaddy.
Dad, Papa.
Crawdaddy pa.
Grandpapa, grandpapa.
What'd you play this week in the Craw? Pop 'em.
See if they
Craw
do the
pop.
same. Well,
I think the last thing I played was actually No Man's Sky. But it's probably what I'm gonna do a lot more of.
Are you opening up? Are you opening up the box right now, Trey? You can't just say no. I
think I am.
I was like, I don't know where I'm going to fit it in today, so we're going to talk about the Ubisoft press conference for E3, previewing it, and Nintendo's with all the rumors, but, like, man, we should really talk about it with Xbox, but it's exciting. No Man's Sky. Multiplayer-based things happen for real. Did you read about it, Trey?
I read a bit about it, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading an article, and it was Eurogamer, I think, and it was about to explain to me, and I'm like, I stopped it, because it told me it was like on the latest Inside Xbox live stream that Xbox did. I'm like, I'm gonna need to hear this straight from Xbox's mouth and Sean Murray's mouth, and I went and watched it. It's only a 9-minute video, very worth watching. Yeah, it is. It feels like the redemption arc is coming. I told you this outside. Like, you don't want to get Snake Oil twice when he's like, oh, we wish we would have done this earlier. It sounds like they play tested it for a long time. Like, they've been working on it a long time. This is based off how well received Atlas Rises really was. But yeah, Sean Murray on the Xbox stage was very interesting, Trey. I will say that. It was a little... They even started with him being like, never thought I'd see you here. Which is really him being like, never thought Xbox would bring No Man's Sky after fucking that year exclusivity fucking deal was up. Like, but maybe not. I don't know. But okay, let's talk about it. It sounds like it's going to be straight multiplayer in the sense that you can hook up with your friends and, you know, start a crew, and you can hit randos in the middle of nowhere. You can do whatever you want, and you can be... He said you could be that guy. He's like, you can do this with people and this with people. I'm pretty much laying out all the multiplayer things. And he's like, if you want to be that guy and prey on people.
You can do it.
But yeah, what's your hype level for multiplayer being announced?
I mean, that's pretty fucking hype. That's why I gotta play now, so I can get up to that brighter status. And just have farms.
How far away is that for you?
Oh, it's
a lot of money, right?
Yeah, they're very, very fucking far away. Like, if I start building a base and like get a farm going and just like wait it out, try to get the best like spaceships I can. One for gathering, one for fighting, one for lovemaking.
Of course.
I was gonna say one for bitches, but you got that covered, so yay.
How much of the... I know the base building was added in one of the early updates, right? Like, one of the first big ones.
Yeah.
How much have you really dove into base building?
Not at all. Like, that's what I'm in the middle of.
Seems like it's going to be important.
Yeah,
Now
like
that you have a team.
Apparently that's how you make money in the game now, and I'm just like, I'm a child lost in space. Because I wasn't like playing like heavily for those like updates, so I gotta dip in.
He mentioned how well received Atlas Rises was. How much of that you played?
That I saw a few of those features. I mean, just seeing the freighters, you know, I knew something was different. You know, I found abandoned bases and stuff, and like there's new exotic minerals that are procedurally generated into the world. I feel like maybe this is just me, but like I feel like a lot of the like procedurally generated creatures I've seen lately have been just better looking, but like the graphics totally got polished up overall with the Atlas Rises update. Like everything looks real fresh.
That seemed to be one of the things he was proud of, just how much like sleeker it was after Atlas Rises. Like how much he's like a lot of the little things we added just make it more fun. Like it's like there's not as many big things to, besides like the story and the mission system, you know.
Yeah.
So really, it's also just altogether sleeker. But
now there's guilds.
How do you feel about the name No Man's Sky Next? He said it a lot. He's not really pushing the next thing. It's just fine. It's just weird to me. It literally does not matter. I'm just like, No Man's Sky Next.
I don't know.
It sits weird with me. I don't know why.
It's the next phase.
It is the next. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I remember not even playing No Man's Sky, but hearing that the first one was called Foundation. I'm like, all right, No Man's Sky, you got to get it together. You got this, but Foundation. Something else. Atlas Rises. Yeah, man. I don't know. They still didn't talk about super specific, but it does sound like it's been very thoroughly play tested.
Yeah.
Looks like they're listening to what people are saying. So, we'll see.
Game's about to be crazy.
The resurgence.
Being a space pirate, how fucking sweet is that gonna be?
It should be pretty exciting. It should be pretty darn exciting. Oh, man. Sean Murray. He's still like, I don't really like... It's like, we love making games. I don't really like talking about games. Like talking about making games. He definitely did not want to be there still. But he was excited. You could tell he was excited. Like a man that had said things on stage. Like if you watch all those interviews, like by the end of the launch, he's looking down a lot. You know what I mean? He's like hunched over.
Yeah.
He's like, when like a kid's trying to hide how excited they are, but they're just so excited they can't even hide it. That's how he was talking about this multiplayer. I'm like, I'm almost proud. I'm excited. See how that goes. But yeah.
I have a question for both of you guys.
June 24th.
Do you think there is a chance that they're going to be selling you guys snake oil twice? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
At this point, it's like, why even come out and be like, multiplayer? It won't be snake oil in the same way, at least. But like,
I mean, there are like quantitative like updates that like, I mean, I haven't like really dug into everything, but I've tasted the fruits of their labors. So I'm not too worried that it's gonna be. I certainly don't think they're gonna make it worse. You know what I mean? And it has gotten better since the beginning, so I think it's a safe bet.
That'd be something worth writing home about.
My darling Darla.
Trey, what do you think Nick played this week?
Kirby Star Allies.
Nicholas Cartier, what did you play this week in gaming?
This Week in Gaming is brought to you by Litmit Media and Litmit Media Incorporated. Thanks, Dan. No, This Week in Gaming, I played a lot of Pokemon. I played, I'm on Victory Road on my way to fight the not Elite Four because I'm not supposed to know about it yet, but I know it's the Elite Four.
Ho-ho.
Ooh, they haven't said those words in the game yet. But I played the verse version of the game, so it's the Elite Four.
The Elite. The Elite.
So where I had it stopped before, like where I had stopped playing, I feel like the main reason I stopped playing is because I didn't like my party of Pokemon, and I was stuck in a situation where like I gotta do like 20 Pokemon battles pretty much in a row, going through a base, and I can't get out, and there's no way to switch my Pokemon up, and there's no Pokemon to catch to like, you know.
Yes, a funky situation.
Oh yeah, but I ended up weathering through that last week, and no, I've just been playing it, and the story's a lot better than Pokemon Sun. Like, Pokemon Ultra Sun
Got
it is the game Pokemon Sun probably should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But after I started playing again, I encountered a majority, because I'm not done with it yet, but a, like, big chunk of, like, difference from Pokemon Sun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A substantial amount of difference.
Well, yeah, because leading up to that, like, there's, like, different Pokemon in different locations, but for the most part, besides for a couple things through, like, here and there, it was damn near the same game.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember you saying that.
yeah. And, no, that was, it's really, like, I can't even think of the word, but I've been playing it, and I've been enjoying it. Also, I played Pokemon Go. Me and Phoenix played Pokemon Go for the Community Day events.
So yeah, tell me about that. By the way, I had no idea. I saw that it was Community Day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Charmanders.
so yeah, every Community Day they have a certain Pokemon that'll just like it spawns up like a lot, so it's all over the map. And pretty much what you do is like last month was Mareep. So you could get Mareep through Ampharos, and when you evolved it all the way up to Ampharos, you would get, I want to say, Dragon Pulse on it. So you get a special move. Like, they've done, I know they've done Bulbasaur, they've done Dratini. So they've done a couple of them, but this month was Charmander. So me and Phoenix went to a couple parks, and we were walking around just catching Pokemon, swinging on swings, having a good time. I ended up catching 2 shiny Charmander, though, which is my first shinies in Pokemon Go, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
That's
not,
big.
they're, like, you can check, like, Pokemon's really vague in, like, all of its games when you want to look up, like, their EVs and IVs, because Pokemon Go has IVs on it. And so what you do is you go to get your Pokemon appraised, and they, like, tell you things, and if they use certain keywords, and it's like, oh, yeah, this Pokemon's fucking dope. Well,
that's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. Word for word. But I'm talking to you, Professor Willow. But anyways, yeah, no, I got a Charmander that was like pretty fucking decent, so I'll actually be able to like put it at gyms. It was a good community day. I liked it.
Cartier, to go back to what you were talking about earlier, I'm sorry, but the thing about Pokemon Sun and Moon is this, Cartier, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, is, I know people shit on it, but how was I not supposed to like it? The main professor is secretly a luchador. The music, which has never been this in the entire series, is almost entirely, in the beginning at least when you're on the island, ukulele based. Like it's just, ooh, no, how's that? This thing is so good, Cartier. It was fine. And honestly, if I owned Nebby, it would be hard to keep it in my purse. So, that criticism doesn't even make sense. What I'm trying to say is this, Cartier. We're going to talk a little more about Pokemon Go later. Obviously, it's exciting.
We'll talk about all the snake oil today.
Just a whole lot of bullshit on today's podcast about things that may or may not be happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played a lot. So you're trying to tell Trey that you did not play Kirby Star Allies this week.
I did not, mostly because my Nintendo Switch has just been sitting in my car and it's dead, so.
Right. Well, 1 second, Mr. Cartier.
Feels that.
Trey, but how does that make you feel? Besides,
like I guessed wrongly.
I wished I had been. Every time I get in my car, I look back and I just see like my box that has like all of it in there. So like it's not even I could bring it inside and just like plug it in. I'd have to bring everything inside and like plug in 2 cords, and you don't get a like luscious body type like this by plugging in 2 cords.
I know the struggles.
you leave it in the car.
So I've been, but I will say that Kirby Star Allies is in the Switch right now. Like that is the cartridge that's in the Switch.
Partial points.
Yeah,
it's so true.
Partial points.
But no, I want to play that game more. But I want to get myself to finish these Pokemon games, so I can be prepared for spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Whatever we're going to talk about in about 20 minutes. Dan, what did you play this week in gaming?
This week in gaming, there's a bunch of different things I was going to play, and then I didn't play that. There's a game that came out, I think in 2016 called, no. came out in 2017 called Everything. I remember the trailer for Everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It won like some like film festival stuff, something like that. But what Everything is pretty much is you start as an elephant. I would say that I didn't expect to play so much of Everything. I think there's not a learning curve. There's like a will you play this or not is in the first 5 minutes. You start as an elephant, but the movement of the elephant is like if you were a square and the square turned and then turned and then turned. So it's a static image of this elephant. You know what I mean? Like its trunk will move when you're like. Anyone have a good elephant noise? So good, and that's how you do it. Whoa! Wow! And that's
that
how you
was like 32
I think that
podcasts of pent up.
I think that was the best one.
And that's
the
how
best
you-
elephant noise.
That's how you do it. And then you get the other animals to react to that noise.
Trey, you know how you cleaned
And then-
up the room and then Kyle just got his fecal matter all over your microphone?
Any complaints you can
I
send
don't even wanna
to
look at him.
litmitmedia@gmail.com. That's
You guys wanted to know the best elephant noise, dude. That was the
MIT.
best I could do.
MEDIA.
You're not gonna be assholes about it.
How you forced it.
You're a
For
giant
the Great Lakes
asshole.
Gaming Game of the Year, best elephant noise goes to Kyle Melville.
You're a disgusting
That was just
creature.
I mean, you didn't mean like elephant, like
At
as
least
in
he
like
didn't
the
cough.
sound they make out of their mouth, right?
So there's a game came out I think 2017 called Everything. Stars an elephant. And it's the elephant was a square.
They do make that noise.
Wait,
lot.
he'll get to the elephant part again, then you can just...
So at first when you're this like rotating elephant that's rotating onto its head and like you're like, oh, okay, what is this? And there's like some like 1970s like college speech that like a professor gave or something like that, like very like it was Alan Watts, like this philosophical thing about what are things, like what are we in the universe, existential shit. As you're this elephant, and then you can join with other elephants, other likewise things, and then something about the movement when you're like 20 of these elephants and you're just fucking booking it and they're all rotating like crazy and you're fucking. What's cool about Everything is you can literally be everything. You can always ascend or descend at every time. May the Lord bless you, Kyle.
There you go.
You can ascend.
Science recognizes you.
You can
The one was
You-
flat.
you can ascend to be
It doesn't recognize Kyle.
like a continent, ascend into the galaxy to be like to be a planet, and then you can be galaxy sized. But you can also go really, really small and just be like chewed up gum on the ground. And you can move as all these things. And like, what's cool is eventually, spoilers, you can have anything. At first, when you're an elephant, only elephants can join with you. But eventually, you can do anything. So you can just like, being a rock. The movement of the rock is beautiful. Because I told you that square thing. The rocks just roll on the ground. And you know I love Katamari, so I'm just rolling this rock. And then I'm joining, and then it's just like a pack of rocks all rolling through the desert. I'm just like, oh my fucking god. I really love Everything. I want to be a tortoise, and then it lets you like size up or size down. So I size it up to be as big as like a city, and then it's just this tortoise. And then I change from being the tortoise, and I'm a little daisy, and I just watch as the AI continues to be that super large tortoise that I now know I created when I come back to this planet. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the one where I made that tortoise fucking huge. There's one where I took a sword and just made it bigger than the castle and put it out front, and there's this huge fucking sword. And I'm like, I've never been. Oh, I've been here. That sword.
What's like the largest thing you can be?
So I guess it's debatable, Trey, because it's like this. Maybe in theory, you can be like a super massive, like the Blue Suns, what are they called? The super massive giant boys. But I feel like some of the galaxies you can be, and you can increase.
Just like a blue giant?
Yeah, whatever it is. I think the word super massive in there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can be a whole galaxy, increase the size of that, and really depending on how you look at it, there are some of these black holes that you could, in theory, just be as big as anything else. But when you are at the level where you're a galaxy, you've gone from chewing gum on the ground next to the pebble to the cat that's standing next to it. You know, make that cat as big as everything as the castles, and you can ascend and be that continent you're on, and then that planet, and then that galaxy. When you go up from galaxy, you go into this weird, like, 2D, like, spherical space where it's, like, just really weird objects. And you hit that when you're at the highest point and the lowest point, because going from there, what you go to is pretty much, like, pollen particles in the air, and, like, literal, like you'll be, like, argon, or, like, carbon.
Elements, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or just, like, really small, like, bacteria, even. So there's, like, an endless flow of going big to small. Like, there's a loop there, you know what I mean? And the thing in between is this, like, spherical, like, 2D, really weird, trippy is a bad word for it, but trippy space, where it's, like, I could not tell you. That's why I say the galaxy is probably the largest thing in the game, but who knows what even dimension it's trying to represent in this thing, and how big things
you
are.
Like, cross over and start again.
Exactly. At first I thought it was just animals, Trey, right?
Yeah.
Like, animals in life, even though I guess I was a rock early on. But as soon as it's like, now you're a chair, I'm like, at first I was a little put off by it, because it seemed like it was a very natural, like, living thing. And then, like, no, just all things, it just fucking...
Everything.
Yeah, it just changes. Enjoyable. I've loved my time and everything. I say love because I wasn't going to play it more, but then I went back. I've been, like, over 1,000 things in that fucking game. It's like 10 hours of it. Also, there is a little bit of story where it's like now you've opened up this, you can descend into the Golden Gate, and it's just not what you think. This week in gaming, Trey, I don't want to give it away. It's like the only story part of the game, but you can descend in the Golden Gate, and it's just straight up unexpected shit.
Huh. Interesting.
Wait, hold on. Is it A, B, C, D, E, right? E3 is just around the corner. That was my transition. It's not great. Ubisoft and Nintendo both having press conferences. Both enjoyable things usually at E3. Nintendo is going to do a direct. It hasn't done a press conference in a long time. But real quick, let's run through some of these things that I think are going to be at Ubisoft. The first thing I want to start with is actually Kyle Melville, who's on his phone. And I want to say, The Crew 2, Kyle. I'm actually more
pick on me.
No, I'm actually more I watched a preview for this.
Don't pick on me.
I'm actually more excited. I guess I should preface this with, they did delay, it delayed Skull and Bones, Ubisoft, like in something that happened this week. It was going to be fall 2018, now it's fiscal year of, whatever, April 2019 to March 2020 is when it's bound to come out. Apparently partially because Fortnite's killing it so hard.
I hate that game.
And then, but they also said that they're going to have 3 AAA titles at E3, one of them being unannounced, the other 2 being Crew 2 and Tom Clancy's The Division 2. So people are thinking what the third one is, but let's start with those AAA games. The Crew 2. Kyle, this is what sold me on The Crew 2 and why I'm way more excited than the last time we spoke. Hitting jumps as a boat. No. You're driving as a car, driving off a cliff, turning into an airplane, or turning into a boat as you hit the water, or being a boat and hitting a big jump and then turning into a plane. I mean, it's not like Transformers, like, that would be sick, but
it just switches.
That looks satisfying. I wonder how it feels, but that looks real satisfying, Kyle. That, like, sold me way more. I knew you could be the different things. I knew you couldn't be a plane in the first one, you could be a plane in this one, but the quick change of it is really interesting to me. I don't know,
I'm excited to just play a more diverse racing game. You know what I mean?
Will Stevie play this with you?
Probably not. Yes, he will. Probably not. He got a lot of problems with his car right now.
Whoa.
Dang.
So why wouldn't he want to go into a virtual world
Where all of his problems are gone?
I was going to say drive a car that actually works, but yay!
You're not that excited about Crew 2 right now. I understand, Kyle.
No, I am.
Oh, okay. Are you drawn in? Does it seem like a gimmick, the whole cars into planes, planes into boats whole situation? Are you just like more like I'm more worried about the? Looks like the plane does help you like explore and see more of the world.
Of course,
Definitely.
The map is huge, and it's like almost real time, dude. Like,
Almost
they use
real
a lot,
time.
almost like real timing in that game.
You think you're so cool.
Yeah,
Kyle, you have good socks on today.
I have a good closer.
You a good closer?
I found a good closer if I actually win one of these days.
It's a hot game this week.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
You guys think I should go for Battlefront 2 or not?
From what Benny's told me, it's really, really satisfying right now.
Is it?
I feel. See, I was thinking the same thing, but I feel like I'm gonna get sick of it really quickly.
Probably.
I don't know, man. It does look pretty dope.
All I'm saying is Benny told me that when you're playing Darth Vader, one of his moves are you can do the choke to people, but you can do the choke to multiple people.
Nice.
And he said what you can do is if you're by the edge of the map, you can just like choke people, move your hand over to where they're on the like outside the boundary of the map, and just drop them.
Nice.
And I think that sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
It does sound great.
But I think you would enjoy it. I think you should get it.
All right.
That's my vote.
That is what
I'm gonna
was
stay.
looking for.
I'm gonna stay neutral. That way we got one on each side.
I mean, the loot box thing is off-putting, but like,
You can play without the loot boxes.
Dude, I'm just tired of playing a Star Wars game where you just gotta kill each other.
Kyle,
would like
that's
to play
the
a
only
Star-
kind of game I want to play.
No, dude, I want to play a Star Wars story game, man.
Might be coming.
I know.
Doesn't it have a story mode?
Not coming from Ubisoft. It does. I've heard mixed things about the story mode, but it's not like
It's not like how
that,
Yeah,
we
you
want
should,
it.
Kyle. You should play it because you're trying to run through all the Star Wars movies, and that game is canon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think that. Listen, I'm not even like. This isn't even going to be my true opinion. I'm just going to speak for like Star Wars fans. Everyone collectively through my mouth right now.
Hell
You should probably. Have you seen Clone Wars, the cartoon?
I haven't. I watched a lot of it when I was a kid. You know, but like I would have to rewatch a lot of it to get the in between
Are
stories.
you talking about the animated or the like?
Animated.
Yeah, the animated. I used to watch a lot of it on Cartoon Network.
About 74 spots higher on. You should watch it because it's canon to the Star Wars universe than Battlefront 2. No offense, Cartier. I'm sorry about that. Clone Wars are better accepted as a thing.
It's fun.
People love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think about people on the internet, and then I remember all the people that were like, "The Last Jedi is a great movie," and it's like it's not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's not even getting the Star Wars thing. The more I see people shit on it, it's so.
I'm gonna be shitting on new Star Wars until they get the Yuuzhan Vaughn in there. That's all I'm saying. That's the direction it should have went.
Many Bothans died.
Anyways,
The other AAA game for Ubisoft definitely coming. Tom Clancy's Division 2.
I'm gonna probably get that.
Same engine as Division.
Yep.
Now,
Ooh.
what if they sell you
Twice?
So yeah,
talk about all of it. We're talking about all of it today.
See, I was. Division 1 was so hyped up for me that I think that's the only reason that ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Callback.
I mean, they already sold me Snake Oil twice with GTA 5, so.
No, that's
I
not
mean,
snake oil.
Yeah,
That's
GTA
just
5.
oil. You needed to oil something literal.
Yeah, you just got the craving twice, and that's on you.
Yeah, man. It's just like you needed it. You still had cereal
It
left,
was
and you had to go buy more
$10.
milk.
You know, I bought it because it was $10.
Yeah. $10, it's not snake oil. But
That game's so worth
See,
$10.
you're
Dude,
the
so
fucking
worth
dude.
$10.
I would pay $10 for GTA 5. I don't even have a PS4.
Yeah,
Just to have it.
I'd be like,
Just
Dan,
for the map.
I'd be like, Dan, you'll be like, I have it.
you're
I
the
do have
fucking
it.
Dude, you're the dude that like
It'd be a PS3 version, though.
that you're like a repeat, like Grand Theft Auto trainer.
He's the guy.
You like GameStop talk about you?
Yeah.
Like, Kyle Melville came in here, and he bought it again.
It's like he's back.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, he's going for GTA 5.
They're still waiting for Steep.
There's a new Steep out.
Is this the Steep 2 kid? Oh, fuck, don't say anything.
Oh my god.
He keeps asking about Skate 4. I don't know what to tell him.
Like, are you a Games Rewards member? You're like, I've played and finished every Assassin's Creed, but this one, it's like, what? Like, yeah, something about this one.
Yep, that's exactly how my conversation went.
They didn't even really ask. Do you remember the Elijah Wood VR thing I showed you a few years ago, Trey? Or Kyle?
Elijah Wood.
It's like Elijah Wood, and it's just like, it's like very self-aware, where it like shows you in with the headset on, like sweating, and it's like experiment based. Like, it's called Transference.
I don't remember.
But anyways, hopefully we'll get something from that. That's all I've really heard about that game, but it does look super mindfuckery-ish. Forward mindfuckery-ish. But yeah, it's pretty much Elijah Wood as you're, I think, wearing a VR headset, talking about them making this game to be a representation of like an old experiment in the beginning of virtual reality and its effects on people. But
is it a VR game?
Yeah, it's not out yet, but
I know, but I'm just trying to remember the
VR game for sure.
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
We might have been watching a bunch of trailers at that point.
Yes, that is exactly what's happening. But yeah. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2 are bound. It's probably years away, but I was actually watching a dev diary in this. I think I might have told you about it, Kyle, where everyone was on their phone at the same time. And I was watching a dev diary where it was the monkey using the jetpack. They're like beta testing the jetpack.
Yeah.
So cool. I think I've gathered that you might be able to play as these different characters, but I think you create a character in this world and then like build a crew in Beyond Good and Evil 2. Really like passionate team. I remember like getting that from E3. Like the people making this game care about this game. Like the heart will be there. So that's kind of exciting. I remember you being intrigued by Beyond Good and Evil 2. Someone that isn't Kyle.
That's why I was on my phone.
No mustache Mario is what they were pulling up. Kyle zoomed into the bottom lip. Trey, did you see that?
See the editing.
Do you remember the CG Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer? With the monkey and the pig. That's not a very good description. Where it's like you are a chimpanzee with a jetpack and like a grappling hook, and you are going to sell this golden treasure to this like big fat mafioso, like Yakuza leader pig in like some slum. He's like, hurry up, I got a date. I don't want to say it in the terrible British accent, but he's like, hey, don't go date. That was so good.
I have no idea what the fuck
You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what trailer I'm talking about? You guys need to step up your fucking game. Kyle, Beyond Good and Evil 2, look forward to it. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It was the only knock against it, Trey, is that I want to show it to you as soon as we're done here. It was all CG for sure, but it's also because it's very far away. Yeah, just some shit. Ubisoft. Anything would be nice though from Beyond Good and Evil 2. Moral of the story. Ubisoft. Splinter Cell. So there's really only two options. If the AAA game that's unannounced is anything but Splinter Cell or possibly an Assassin's Creed, because it was in the Walmart leaks. Assassin's Creed, but it could be anything Game of the Year edition.
Could be dick.
If it's not Splinter Cell, it's gonna blow people's shit because Sam Fisher did pop up in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and why did he do that? It's been 5 years since a Splinter Cell.
Man, Wildlands was fun, but like, again, these Tom Clancy games are just not fun if you're not playing with somebody. Like it was cool. It was cool having like a squad of 3.
Well, Splinter Cell
still.
Though. Isn't Splinter Cell like a mostly one-player thing?
I think so.
Isn't it espionage?
Yeah, but they haven't come out with a Splinter Cell in a long time.
But
I just mean like with the new
Blacklisted 2013. It's been 5 years. This is a long time.
Yeah. So like I just mean like the new Tom Clancy games, like Wildlands and The Division. They're really cool games. They have a lot of sweet shit in them. It's just unless you have like a group of at least one more person,
Yeah.
then it doesn't feel as fucking cool, and like, I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't like to play those types of games. And it seems like a lot of people that I play video games with like to just fucking run and gun, and I'm just annoying.
Yeah. So through.
I'm a tactical kind of guy when I play those games. That's what you got all that gear for, man.
Trey Grunstadt, I want your opinion and reaction to this. You might already know about this. When James Cameron's Avatar came out in 2009, Ubisoft made the game for it. And they always wanted to apparently work together again to make like a more realistic Avatar world you can live in. Maybe like as a living MMO or just in general as a world you can live in that isn't necessarily based around the movie. It's just creating, what is it? It's like Pandora. Yeah, it's like random. But they announced that last year that the sequel for that Avatar game is coming. And the movie's like 2 years away. But I don't know if you guys were aware that this Avatar game was coming.
Mm-mm.
But it's super massive doing it. I'm sorry, no. Supermassive was the sun earlier. It's Massive Entertainment. Which you would know Massive from Far Cry 3. They developed Assassin's Creed Revelations, Division 2, Fractured Butthole, the South Park game that just came out.
Fractured Butthole.
Fractured Butthole.
Butthole. And they're like really proud they're doing it on the Snowdrop engine, which I don't think pretty much all those games are on the Snowdrop engine. Mario and Rabbids also on that engine. It was a pretty looking game. But yeah, that's like such a question mark is that James Cameron Avatar game. Cause
yeah,
who knows what that's...
Yeah, like, I don't even know what are they gonna do with the sequels, like...
Oh, with the actual movie, you mean?
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Where is that story going at
yeah,
all?
I thought
like,
it seemed like a one fucking...
There's a beginning, middle, and end.
One movie type deal thing that was
and he's
fucking
talking
4 hours long.
Like, he's talking about, like, chains of sequels coming out. Like,
yeah, very long term.
Yeah, and it's like, are you fucking for real, dude? Like,
about to tell a story in reverse, like Star Wars?
A movie that probably could have been 3 separate movies put into one movie. I want to know, do you think in this game you're going to be able to fuck the tree?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I also wonder if you're going to be able to fuck the tree.
I want to know if you're going to be able to feel it.
What if this game is VR?
Yeah, what if it's...
Are you going to be able to...
Yet again, I want to know if you're going to be able to feel it.
VR is probably like...
Wow.
I'd fuck a tree VR before I tried it in real life.
I mean, that's...
Let me have that bark. I'll bark, no bite.
It just seems like that's what they'd want for that video game, the movie, or like James Cameron. Because like that, they like boot up into the bodies in the movie. The VR game is like would be like just like doing that, and then you can go and fuck a tree in VR.
I'll fuck a tree.
Just because there's so little about this game that we know, I don't think there's that much out there in general. I'm gonna go on a limb, Trey, and say you are an actual member of that blue species. You're not gonna be a human going into a body, like the 2 people or whatever.
Body going into.
You're really like part of that race. That's what I think.
Well, then I'm gonna be envious of Jake Sully. I'm gonna be envious of that motherfucker who's just like a human, totally different race, just coming into some clone body. That's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
E3 is gonna be weird. Ubisoft, who knows what else they're gonna bring? It's just a big old smorgasbord. What's up, Dirty?
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna save it for the podcast that we talk about it.
Nintendo. Nintendo rumors, Cartier. Let's get out of the way real quick.
Sorry.
They officially, the CCS websites or whatever, the people that had made the domain, the copyrighted the domain for like Pokemon.com and like the Sun and Moon websites.
Pretty much are trademarking.
Yep. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I tried to fight this. I tried to be like, Cartier, no, these rumors are nothing. And then like, the trademarks.
Next day I'm like, they trademarked it.
The Game Freak like tweets.
the whole past months of just like Kanto merchandise, the Project Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys talking about?
The new. Thank you. That's a good question, Kyle.
I don't know shit about Pokemon.
The new Pokemon game coming out for Switch.
We haven't gotten anything for it.
Really?
We haven't gotten any information for it.
Really none. But then these leaks came out. That's like, it's gonna be called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Full title: Pokemon Let's Go! Pikachu, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Which is does not follow the naming scheme for the rest of the mainline series.
But neither does Pokemon Yellow.
What do you mean?
I mean, the correct title for Pokemon Yellow is Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition.
Oh,
that's the full title.
Ooh, fancy. It's real. So the thing coming out for Pokemon for the Switch, because there's no information. When we get these leaks, people jump all over them, and a lot of these have been like substantiated. A few things just to cut right into it, Cartier, that I don't buy yet. That it's a remake of Yellow in any shape or form. I think that us not having all the information and then it being a remake of Yellow, I think in my head, and maybe obviously I'm just in denial. Cartier, I've been wrong all week telling you that I'm the anti-hype, that these things are not coming. But no, I think it's more like you're in Kanto at a different period of time as a different person, and Pikachu is still here, and it's working the game, and you have one, maybe right off rip. All those things does not a Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition make.
Well, alright, my thing about that is there's a lot of misinformation going on because like so little has been out about this game. Nothing has been confirmed about the Switch game. Like this is all just like leaks and speculation. This is like shit straight from the rumor mill. But a lot
straight
of people
from the where?
The rumor mill.
Mill. Okay.
Right. But no, it's a lot of people keep saying like, oh, it's in Kanto, so it's gonna be a remake.
Yeah.
From what I heard, from what the leaks said, they said that it's going to be probably five years or so after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Red and Blue are going to make an appearance, but they're not going to be the playable characters. Mm-hmm. And you and your rival are going to go on an adventure in a multiplayer world, like MMO for the most part. Which Pokemon is an MMO, but it's going to be like an open world MMO,
like Skyrim.
Sweet.
Probably less than Skyrim.
Nintendo was asked about this, Kyle.
Asked.
I think I read Eurogamer asking them, or maybe it was Polygon. Doesn't matter. What they said was, we have nothing to announce on this topic.
Damn right they don't.
Yeah, excuse them.
Yeah. No, you don't have anything to ask.
We got nothing on this topic.
Pokemon Go connectivity, Cartier. I hope it's lighter than it is heavy. I know you were kind of talking me down in the car on the way here. I hope it's like as involved as like the Nintendo points are. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like, oh yeah. I don't want it to greatly change the game.
This game's gonna be totally different regardless of Pokemon Go connectivity.
Mm-hmm. And not even just like connectivity. I really don't want to. I just don't want to have there be strong advantages to taking your 3DS and walking around with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do it. And you're like, but other people are going to have fun, Dan. Like,
well, that's what the app's for.
The anti-hype. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I hope it I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited that, away from all that, I'm excited that it's going to be like, what if your starters are just Pikachu and Eevee? You know what I'm saying, Trey?
I think that's what it's going to be.
Or, let me throw this at you, Trey. You go to get a Pokemon, the only Pokemon that Oka's given out is Eevees at this point. He's like, this is where you make the true decision. You start with the Eevee, and this game, just like how Sun and Moon held your hand through how Pokemon works, this will hold your hand through specifically how some of the weirder evolutions work in the game, especially for like the first gen, and specifically the Eevee evolutions, because I'm a 27-year-old man, and I still had to look up how to get Sylveon, because that shit was not naturally fucking, like, given to me via the game.
Feed it puffs and rub its belly.
Feed it puffs and rub its fucking belly. Is it daytime? Shit like that. And then I think you also are just given Pikachu in the beginning, and it's the first time that you were given 2 starters. Like, what? I don't get to choose from 3? No, you choose your Eeveelution later, and by the way, here's 2 starters. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm spitballing, but I'd like to see that.
I'm excited for it. A lot of people, like, I've seen a lot of people on the internet, like, Pikachu and Eevee aren't starters, but literally in Pokemon Yellow, the 2 starters that are given the red and blue are Pikachu and Eevee. What I'm trying to say is the internet can suck my dick.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And with that, moving on to some more rumors.
2005.
Trey.
That's just rude.
What
Nobody's listening anyways.
Word on the street is that it is happening. The game Retro's working on. People are like, what's Retro working on? Retro, the people that developed Metroid Prime 1, 2, the trilogy, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, a few other things. Conker Dong, a very loved developer. Apparently, Star Fox racing game. It's coming. Combat racing in space, I assume.
Badass.
We don't know. This is how it went down.
Badass.
It's like, oh, by the way, Star Fox racing is happening. And then everyone else, IGN's like, oh yeah, we heard that, yeah, for sure. And Eurogamer's like, yeah. Kotaku's like, yeah. And then like we're in the background like a week later, like we didn't hear that. But now we've heard
Where
it,
did you hear that from?
and it's exciting.
This shit's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you get.
Racing / combat. So there's gonna be a hub world, not unlike Diddy Kong Racing, is what the rumor is. Like it might be like a circuit, kind of like Star Fox Grand Prix is what the tentative title apparently is.
So it's gonna be Mario Kart.
It's gonna be no, it's gonna be like circuit races, kind of like Mario Kart, with 3 races and then a boss battle, like a boss race, which would be more comparable to
Mario Kart.
no
F-Zero?
F-Zero. Thanks, Trey. Thanks, Nick. Who said?
You're welcome, Kyle.
that?
No problem.
I don't like you using my name as an insult.
Whoa.
Like using it as a calling in.
Oh yeah. Star
As a
Fox.
buzzer.
Star Fox Zero did shit for sales and shit for critical fucking, like, people did not like that game. This is the redemption arc once again. My question for you, Trey, about Star Fox, though, is what if they sell you snake oil twice?
That's okay. Star Fox
Well,
has a lot
reinventing
of
Star
credit
Fox.
in my book to sell me snake oil before I give up.
All of us have a big jar of snake oil
It-
at home. So shut up.
It looks like it's like apparently from what it sounds like is the combat and racing is fused in a way where it's like you do, unlike Mario Kart, for simply defeating people, like knocking them aside, destroying them, you get like speed buffs, like,
You whoop their ass.
which means it matters more than what I played of like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as far as actually destroying
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Move it.
no, that's cool.
To continue things, Trey Grunstadt is excited for. There is bound to be a 2018. There is 100% a 2018 Fire Emblem game coming out on the Switch. Wait, is it for sure Switch? Doesn't matter. There's a Fire Emblem game coming out this year, Trey. I think it's on
yeah.
Switch.
It is.
We don't even have a name. Fire Emblem. We got that. What do you want to see announced at E3 for this, Trey? Is it just like, I mean, I'll take a name. Do you want gameplay? Do you just even want a name? That way, they're still
I'd like
thinking
a name.
about it. Yeah.
I'd like a name for sure. I don't know how much I want on gameplay, but I guess what I want out of the game is like depth, like the 3DS games, but beefed up a little would be totally fine for me. Like like a lot more stuff to do, a lot more battles to have would be cool. Different kinds of units. That would be great.
Do you think they? Do you think this is like the first wide, mass market reaching Fire Emblem? Pretty much what Monster Hunter was for Monster Hunter.
Oh, God.
Or Monster Hunter World was for Monster Hunter.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'd be trying to promo it harder.
Well, it's just because Heroes, I feel like, is the real first thing. But, I mean, that's obviously... I know, and Fire Emblem Heroes made them a lot of money, too. I was going to say, I know it's free, but no, they made so much money. I believe they made more than the Mario Run, and it was priced way different.
Mario Run.
Super Mario Run, you had to, like, buy the game. Like, pay to unlock the rest of the game. They give you one level for free.
Is that the...
That's the one that you like?
Whereas I played Heroes
that's
for
a
months.
game on your phone. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Fuck
an
yeah.
auto runner.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it on my phone.
Nice. It's fun.
I got that in PUBG. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's going to be like connectivity back and forth with the app in the new game?
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I do not think so, but that'd be interesting. With Nintendo like dipping their toe in the mobile market, we really don't know how they're gonna go after everything.
Yeah, because like 3 years ago they're like, "There's no way we're gonna do anything," and then a year later they're like,
Ha 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 ha. This is a good transition into another thing on this list as I try to run through these. Nothing for Animal Crossing, but the fact of the matter is, Animal Crossing on Switch would do well.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be working on it. They statistically have to be working on this.
Yeah.
Print and gold, Cartier, but it could be long off just because the mobile app doesn't mean Animal Crossing is coming. It might even be a worse sign for it.
Made you suck.
So true.
That's what I heard.
Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros.
Smash.
Just Smash Bros. This is just heavily rumored, not announced.
Smash Bros.
Cartier brought this to my attention, but they're like, some people rumored to be in the new Smash. Number 1, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. The rumor is that there's 2 character trailers, new character trailers that we're gonna see at E3 for Smash Bros. One of them is highlighting Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and the other one is highlighting the addition of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, which would be exciting.
I heard Iron Man's gonna be in it.
Fuck you. Really?
Fake news.
Fake news! Fake news!
I abandoned the
I heard a lot of the internet wants Shrek to be in it.
Oh my god, really?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
What's he gonna throw?
Dude,
Stones?
Shrek and Goku. People want Goku and Smash Bros.
People want. Oh my god, of course they want Goku.
nobody's
That's
gonna win.
crazy.
How does he lose?
Gah! Look at
Mega
that.
Man Buster, Lemon
Is the
Snap.
fucking Ice Climbers gonna beat him?
Dude, they might be in the game.
Ice Climbers!
Ice climbers!
I tried to describe how you said it, Trey. The other day I had to be like, Trey's been killing me with how he's just been saying, Ice Climbers! I'm like, I don't know what it is. There's a Yoshi game they announced last year. It's barely got a name. It just says Yoshi, but it's like every story has 2 sides, and you flip it, kind of like how you can 4 ways flip
Bop
the
it.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Bop it. It's like 2-sided. It's not 2D. It's like 2.5D. Almost similar to Little Big Planet, except it's not just like you always have 3 frames of death. It's like now you're running down. It's really, it looks like it transforms to a few different things. I guess kind of how
New Metroid Prime.
Is there any like video for it? or-
Metroid. Yes. No. The trailer from E3 last year showed some of the gameplay. It's charming. The aesthetic is charming.
Is
You should
it-
look at it. No, not Woolly World.
It's not Woolly World.
It's actually just called Yoshi right now, from what we know. What'd you say to me?
Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime 4. Will we get anything? Anything would be welcome, more than the logo. Even just the logo again, they point to it and they one tear and smile. That'd be cool. But hopefully we see a little
And then a
Metroid
picture
Prime
of an
4.
Asian guy.
What are the chances of
What was
us
the picture of
getting
an Asian
anything
guy?
about Metroid versus anything about Final Fantasy VII?
I think it's more likely for Final Fantasy VII.
Because they did we're real far away from this game, let's show you this, but more time has passed. Like the Metroid Prime 4 thing was last year, so we're in one of those dead years that made me bet $40 that Final Fantasy VII wouldn't be Square Enix. Octopath Traveler, I'm going to lose that $40. Octopath Traveler is coming to the Switch. We've talked a lot about that. That's exciting. Possibility of Super Mario Maker. Of all the ports from the Wii U, I think the biggest one, I'm surprised they haven't hit it earlier. It's time to bring Mario Maker to it. Maybe they were waiting to launch it with online, but that's coming up. One thing no one's talking about is this.
Penis.
New Donkey Kong. It's what I wanted Retro to be working on. Everyone's so excited about Tropical Freeze, and I love it. And I'm not one to criticize Switch for the port situation. Like, everyone's so fast to be like, a lot of ports, Switch. I think it's mostly the right move.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of games that people didn't get to play because...
Exactly.
You suck.
So I don't want to be harsh on them, but I will say that doesn't change the fact of what year Tropical Freeze came out, and the fact that there should be a new DK being worked on at least.
Tropical Freeze.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I'm sorry. Donkey
that
Kong
was like
Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U.
I thought it was like a Surf City Squeeze.
There's been...
It's a smoothie shot.
I like the name Surf City Squeeze. Statistically, just because I've said the word statistically a lot today, I think, and I don't know why, but there's been a new Zelda. Beautiful. Like, obviously promised for the Wii U too, and it's on the Wii U, but like, that feels like less of a port. Odyssey.
Originally, it was done. Like, originally, it was being developed for the Wii U solely.
Before they had to cut the lifespan early for the Wii U.
And then they switched it up.
Yeah. Any weird things you guys might want to see from Nintendo E3?
So I'm in the battle of buying a Switch or an Xbox in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if I buy an Xbox, it's going to be more up my alley because of the type of gamer I am.
I think you need to get it just for backwards compatible Skate 3.
Dude, for real.
I think for you, like, I would like to see you buy either. But I just think about that, and I'm like, then again, you won't play much else.
Yeah.
I've seen
I
you
get
dip
that,
into it.
I won't play anything else.
You might drop out of college.
I already did.
You're done. Yeah. You're building
I didn't
parks.
drop out, but I'm already done.
Building parks.
Yeah.
Building.
So it's either that or, like, if I get a Switch, I know that, like, I'll have somebody to play it with, like these two guys. Even though Trey has a PlayStation, I feel like he might play Switch more.
It's all about the games that come out, Cal.
Shut up. Nobody's talking to you, dude.
Yeah,
These are my opinions of you.
You could play Rocket League.
Shut up.
You could play Rocket League on the Switch.
Alright, I'm not buying a Switch.
Oh, sweet.
Hate Rocket League.
You play Rocket League on the Xbox One.
Hey, can you play GTA 5
We can play
on the
Bonky
Switch?
Don.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Alright.
Not even announced. I said it was like not yet. Makes it sound like it's coming.
We did that.
Dude,
then,
that's what they're gonna do at E3.
I'm Doug Dimmy Dome.
Oh, no, them still Dimmadome.
No, I think the Spyro trilogy is gonna be officially announced for Switch during E3.
Definitely. Feels like a thing, especially if they are in Spanish. And I don't know. Man, Trey, any weird hopes? Nintendo, any things you want to see? Think you might see?
Yeah, shut up, Trey. You can talk now, man. I'll give you permission. You only got 2 words, though, so use them wisely. That was 1.
Fuck yourself.
That was 2.
How's that for another couple words?
You're still talking.
I want a custom Robo game on some, like, deep weird shit. Custom Robo Switch.
Gundam Wing.
Custom Robo Switch.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Gundam Wing.
more than anything, I just want
Wing Gundam.
Wing things. Wingstop.
Wingdings. You got me.
Dangs.
Thanks.
Ain't no dang.
It's time for this week's closer. Some turkey noises came out in the beginning. I didn't expect to go like that. This week's closer, you guys remember Mitten Combat? It's not what we're doing.
So then why you say something about it?
Yeah.
It's a little game I like to call Button Combat. We're going to go around a circle a lot like Mitten Combat. We have to name a Mortal Kombat character till you cannot. I am going to give you a specific controller for a specific console. One by one, you're going to each tell me a single button that is on that controller until you've named, as a group, every one of those buttons on that controller.
God.
Then we can move on to another controller. However, if you do not say the correct, it's a button that doesn't exist. If you're fucking up, you're eliminated. I'm going to go until there's only one who will be the winner of button combat.
Oh, man.
We're going to start with one of the best-selling consoles in American history, the PlayStation 2. And we're going to start with Trey.
The X button.
Trey says the X button. The PS2 has an X button. Kyle? Square?
R2.
Cartier says R2.
D2.
All correct, Trey.
Start button.
Ooh, the oh-so-famous start button.
Share button. Oh, wait, no. Oh, shit.
Oh,
God damn it. Wow.
Wizard.
I meant to say select, but the select button is now the share button, but goddamn.
Kyle, you're out.
Wow. Just like the first fucking combat game.
Cartier?
Fuck up.
I meant to say...
It's so funny for me, though.
I meant to say reptile.
There you
Circle.
Circle gets the square. Trey?
Triangle.
Triangle. Cartier?
Man,
R1.
I thought I was going to make it far.
R1. We're going to do more than one round.
Select.
Select. Cartier?
The D-pad.
The D-pad. I have decided to make D-pads all one. Which is...
Left D-pad.
Which is like, most D-pads are like pretty much one button, but specifically the PS2 is like
They
covered by a little bit of
changed-
plastic in the middle. So it's
They
like
actually
4
changed the
different
whole format.
Trey?
Left trigger. L2.
You're not wrong. You know what I mean? Could be if it was like left bumper, left trigger. It's like left trigger's not wrong. That's why I was like, I can't be like wrong. And no one said L2 yet. Cartier?
Sure, Cartier.
L1.
L1. There are 3 things left on this controller. Trey Grunstadt.
L3.
I like the way you said that, baby.
R3.
Trey. The final button.
I know it.
Is it analog?
No.
It's fucking no, it's definitely analog, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm glad that was going to be my guess.
Which button was that?
That's the center one where it's like when the red light isn't lit up. It's so you can use the L3 and R3. It's like in the center.
The PlayStation button?
PlayStation 2.
Yeah, but it's PS2. So it says analog right there. It's the
Oh,
analog
yeah,
button.
I remember the square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, I thought you were going to come back in the next round, but then no one got eliminated there, so I couldn't do a point system, so now it's still just straight survivalist. We go to round 2, starring Trey Melville? Is that his name? Trey Melville and Nick Melville. Nick Melville. Trey, you went last, so we're going to start with Cartier, and we're talking about the Wiimote.
Oh, man.
Wiimote.
Mm-hmm.
ZL.
Say it again?
ZL. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that what it says on the trigger?
That's a Z. I know there's a Z. I didn't know it was ZL.
We're gonna
Might be
we're gonna fact check right now. Kyle, will you fact check this real
Yeah.
quick for me? Since you're not in the game, especially because I'm almost positive, Cartier. I could be wrong. I think you've just lost because I think that's the B button on the Wiimote, and that it's only Z for the N64. But I could be wrong because I don't know what it's called in the GameCube. We fully anticipate. What is the trigger, right?
Talking about the ZL button.
What's the ZL button, man?
I'm just pretty sure it's written on one of the buttons.
Yeah.
Is
It might be one of the
there-
bumpers.
Crazy?
if there is a ZL button on the Wii,
It's the trigger.
well, I mean,
It's either
I don't
the
know
trigger
what
or
it
the
is,
bumper.
but it's written on there.
We heavily anticipate please don't give away any other possible buttons that might be on the thing like I did, Kyle.
I'm not.
It's too controversial. We might have to go to the other console.
You said like the Wiimote, right?
Yeah.
The nunchuck.
Oh, the nunchuck is an accessory, is it not?
The nunchuck is the controller. The Wii nunchucks. Those are what's sold with the system.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's part of the controller.
But what is the Wiimote?
It is just Z.
Just this?
Yeah.
It is just the Z.
No. But that's on the nunchuck, right?
Yeah, it's just Z.
Right. But we're doing the Wiimote. Like, I understand. I could be wrong still.
I thought
But because I said Wiimote, I was only going to talk about the Wiimote. I also thought the nunchuck was, like, basically an accessory. You know, Cartier, we're going to scrap this. Because I don't like when it's fucking this controversial. So we're going to move on to the only other thing. We're going to go the exact same thing. You go first, Cartier. N64. Which I, without a doubt, I looked at a fucking N64 as I did this, so...
Hey.
That's correct, Cartier. That's correct.
Z.
That's correct.
B.
Cartier, you are correct with B. This is very correct.
C-pad.
I gotta accept it as C-pad, yeah. Because that's what it fucking is. It is what it is, yeah. Cartier.
It's a yellow pad, right?
Yeah.
RT.
Ooh, Trey.
LT.
Nicholas Cartier.
Can I get an X? Is there an X? Or am I thinking of the GameCube?
Oh, shit. I think you're thinking of the GameCube. Yeah. Only thing left was the joystick and the D-pad. Cartier, you fought valiantly. We got past the blurriness.
It's the N64.
As the smoke clears, I think that
There's a
today...
Z button on there.
You're closer. Yeah, there it said Z.
Oh.
You're closer. Trey Grunstadt. Congratulations, Trey. It might feel like a anticlimactic victory with the Wii stuff in the middle. Maybe we'll cut that out so people think that I'm more professional when I write games. But what you need to know, Trey, is that today you get to close this podcast in whatever way you see fit.
Hey, man.
You can talk about Kyle and his life.
All right.
Is a quote for
You
you.
can talk about assorted
I
things.
think
Plugs?
Before we do this, we are Mitten Media. This has been Great Lakes Gaming. I would like to thank you for tuning in today. If you listen to this whole thing, woo, makes me feel good. I appreciate that. If you want to do us a little favor, we don't ask you for money, but if you want to go over to iTunes, rate us 5 stars. It helps the algorithm for real. It helps it. More people get to see us. We're soft relaunch of the YouTube. If you want to go to youtube.com, honestly, if you search Lit Mitten or Great Lakes Gaming, you will find us very easily. We don't have a custom URL, so I can't tell you something cute like youtube.com/our mamas. Like, it's not that yet. Maybe one day it will be that, but until that moment, you can find the podcast on there as well as litmitmedia.fireside.fm, which is the entire archive at your fingertips. I know some things like Stitcher don't necessarily keep them all loaded for you. Kyle's making some funny faces at me. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, fan games, fan art of Trey as Thanos. If you have fan art as Trey as Cartier, man. Any fan art of Trey, make sure you put in the description for Trey anything you're sending to us, and that's litmitmedia@gmail. For Trey, litmitmedia@gmail.com. Last thing, long-winded. There's a 2018 pilot series coming. We're testing out what kind of content we want to create for YouTube for you, the viewer. Looking for feedback. It's going to be the week. We are looking for feedback. It is the week leading up to E3. You're going to see a bunch of different concepts from us. I said I would tease one every episode leading up to it. I'm going to rank 7 things. That's all you get on that. I'm just going to have a show where I rank 7 things. Litmitmedia.fireside FM one last time. Your closer for today, Trey Grunstadt.
Hi, I didn't save a bunch of money on my car insurance, but it's 2018, and I hope everyone has a merry Motor City Comic Con.